Stop looking at Elon Musk. He's a distraction. While you're arguing about who the richest man on Earth is, three men you've never heard of are quietly buying the planet out from under your feet. They don't just have billions, they control trillions. They own the house you live in. They own the food in your fridge. They even own the company that made the phone you're holding right now. And the scariest part, you're the one paying them to do it. If you think you have freedom of choice, you're hallucinating. Go to the grocery store. You see Coke and Pepsi, two fierce rivals, right? Wrong. Look at their top shareholders. It's the same names. What about big tech? Apple versus Microsoft. Same owners. Banks? Chase versus Wells Fargo? Same owners. We call them the Big Three. Together, they control over $20 trillion in assets. That is more money than the GDP of China. That is more money than every country on Earth except the United States. If these three companies combined, they would be the second largest economy in the world. And they are run by three men who decide the fate of the global economy before you've even had your morning coffee. Who are they? And how did they legally take over the world without firing a single shot? Meet the man who can crash the economy with a single letter. Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock. Larry isn't just a banker, he's the architect. In 1988, he started a small company in a single room. Today, BlackRock manages over $10 trillion. But here's the trick. Larry didn't build this empire using his own money. He used yours. If you have a pension, if you have a 401k, if you have an insurance policy, Larry Fink is investing that money. But he's not just holding it. He's using the voting power of your shares to force companies to do what he wants. This is where it gets dangerous. Larry sends a letter to CEOs every year. He basically says, dance to my tune or I'll cut off your money. He calls it ESG investing. Critics call it corporate blackmail, but Larry is just the face. The second man is a ghost. While BlackRock loves the headlines, this company loves the shadows. The Vanguard Group. Vanguard manages over $8 trillion. But here is the mystery that drives Wall Street crazy. Who owns Vanguard? BlackRock is a public company. You can buy shares of BlackRock. But Vanguard is owned by its funds. And the funds are owned by the investors, which means technically nobody owns it. Or everybody owns it. It is a loop of infinite money glitching. Because of this structure, Vanguard doesn't answer to outside shareholders. They only answer to the trillions of dollars flowing through their veins. Their CEO, currently Solam Ramji, isn't a celebrity like Musk. He's an operator. He moves quietly. Vanguard owns the largest stake in Apple, the largest stake in Microsoft, the largest stake in Amazon. If Larry Fink is the king, Vanguard is the empire itself. But there is a third player, the one nobody sees coming. State Street, led by CEO Ron O'Hanley. State Street is the smallest of the big three, managing only about $4 trillion. That's still more than the entire GDP of the United Kingdom. But State Street has a special weapon. They are the back office of the world. They process the trades, they hold the custody of the assets, they know where the money is moving before it moves. Together, these three men, Fink, the Vanguard CEO, and O'Hanley, form the $5 trillion club, a name that is already outdated because they are now the $20 trillion club. Here is the terrifying truth. In 88% of the companies in the S&P 500, the big three are the largest shareholders. They vote as a bloc. They talk to each other. They don't compete. They coordinate. Think about that. If you own Coke and I own Pepsi, we want to destroy each other to get market share. But if you own Coke and Pepsi, you don't want a war. You want price hikes. You want both to win. And who loses? The customer. You. This is why prices go up. This is why innovation dies. Because when the same three men own the entire casino, it doesn't matter which machine you play. The house always wins. But there is one final secret they don't want you to know. The Achilles heel. Remember how I said they are using your money? That is their power. But it is also their weakness. They are betting on your passivity. They are betting that you will never look at your 401k statement. They are betting you will never ask where your pension fund is invested. Because if the world ever woke up, if the millions of regular people realized they are the ones actually funding this monopoly, the $20 trillion empire would collapse overnight. So here is my question to you. Open your investment app right now. Look at the fund manager. Does it say BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street? If it does, congratulations. You're a part of the club. You just didn't know you were the one paying the dues. If you want to know which companies are actually fighting back against the big three, hit that subscribe button. We're doing a deep dive next week on the anti-woke economy that's trying to destroy Larry Fink. You do not want to miss that.